This measure fundamentally speaks to the question of tax fairness for California businesses. The 2009 budget agreement placed an elective single sales factor into California law and effectively created a perverse incentive for businesses to create jobs outside of the state of California. This has placed California businesses like Qualcomm and key California industries like biotechnology, which employ thousands of Californians, at a competitive disadvantage to their out-of-state competitors. By closing the elective single sales factor, we can create tax fairness and end a backwards policy of sending $1 billion out of California's economy to corporations that take jobs and grow them in states other than our own. Instead, we will return the $1 billion to middle-class Californians and invest in our future with a middle-class scholarship, which will cut student fees by 2/3 at CSU and UC, as well as providing critical relief for the community college system. The Nonpartisan Legislative Analyst's Office has called for the elimination of the elective single sales factor loophole, saying it would put California into conformity with other large states and keep California firms from being put at a competitive disadvantage. I believe this issue can very accurately be summarized in the words of George Skelton when he wrote in his column, quote, "You might think a tax law that rewards companies for killing California jobs and resurrecting them in another state would be dumped very quickly," end quote. AB 1500 helps California businesses compete and does so in a revenue-neutral manner by using the revenues generated by closing the loophole to cut college fees. AB 1500 is supported by some of California's largest and most important businesses, such as Qualcomm and trade associations like Biocom and BayBio, whose members employ thousands of Californians. This is a dramatic reinvestment in opportunities for Californians and will help California businesses remain competitive while ensuring California's middle-class families have the same opportunities to succeed as our generation had.
I'm here as a representative of the California State Student Association, representing over 420,000 students, and also the student government at Sacramento State, representing 28,000 students. Both organizations proudly support this bill. Over the last few years of disinvestment to public higher education by the state, middle-class families have been hit particularly hard because these students do not qualify for financial aid, yet their families don't make enough money to help pay for college. Personally, I don't qualify for financial aid, so I've worked 2 jobs for most of my college career, waiting tables and working in the student government to pay for my education, and I'm very proud to do it. Yet soon, I'm also going to have to take out a loan to pay for the master's program because of ever-increasing fees. These increases have dramatically hampered the CSU's mission of affordability and accessibility to all eligible students. Higher fees make the dream of an undergraduate degree unreachable for many, or saddles hundreds of thousands of students with unmanageable debt. The middle class scholarship program means that middle class students across California will be eligible to receive a scholarship that covers up to 2/3 of their system-wide fees, which would dramatically change both the affordability and accessibility of the CSU, giving students more time to focus on their studies.
On behalf of the University of California Student Association, representing over 200,000 undergraduate and graduate students in strong support of the middle class scholarship. At a time when our students are facing insurmountable amounts of debt, coupled with rising fees and a poor job market, corporations outside of California are enjoying a sweet tax break that penalizes job creation and property ownership in California. Not only should California be encouraging job creation and property ownership within our state by eliminating this unnecessary tax loophole, but we as a state should be prioritizing higher education as an investment for our future. The middle class scholarship would end an inequitable and unfair tax break that allows a Nevada company to pay less in taxes than a company based in California that actually creates jobs for Californians. Closing this corporate tax loophole would bring enough money to reduce tuition costs for middle class students, your own sons and daughters, at California's public universities. Our middle class students need tuition relief. The middle class scholarship is your opportunity, it's our opportunity, to send a clear message to all Californians that we value and financially support our future generations of doctors and engineers rising from the halls of UCs and CSUs. We respectfully urge you to stand in support of our middle class families and students.
I'm the president of the statewide Student Senate for California Community Colleges, representing 2.6 million students in the community college system. And I'm here on behalf of those students and their families, really, in strong support of this legislation. We've been going with it the whole way through the Assembly and moving through the Senate with it as well. And we're pleased to be here because not only does this legislation really address some of the serious cost concerns for students being able to equitably attend our higher education systems, but it also begins to address building our workforce for our businesses, supporting families who are going through very difficult times right now in this economy, and making sure that our California businesses are provided with equal opportunities, as well as an equally trained, if not better trained workforce, and support services in the process of making sure that California has a very strong economy and very strong leaders coming forward.